Bahamas, ranked among top 3 Caribbean countries for highest crime index. New tonight, regional leaders address rising trends in the 47th session of CARICOM, now in the history books. This as a couple is charged with firearm and ammunition possession. We'll tell you the massive seizure after investigators execute a search warrant on their McKinney Drive home. Also, ever dreamt of a 4-day work week and what it could mean for you? We've got the scoop on how your routine might change, straight from a 3-day labor reform symposium. Then in Our News at 7:30, it's lobster season again, and fishermen are buzzing, telling our Delvardo Emmanuel this season is set to be the best one yet. Our News live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to Our News, live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candino Knowles. The Bahamas, identified as one of the top 3 Caribbean countries with the highest crime index. This week, regional leaders met in caucus in Grenada, where the issue of regional crime and violence dominated discussions. Bethany McDermott reports from Grenada.
Crime and violence are top CARICOM agenda item this week for regional leaders at their annual meeting in Grenada. CARICOM Chairman Deacon Mitchell confirming they looked at multiple suggestions.
There are a number of things coming out of it. One, the need to strengthen our legislative response to the issue of violence, crime, criminality, corruption, trafficking in firearms is certainly one of the emerging consensus.
Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, and the Bahamas had the highest crime numbers in 2023. And with nearly 80 homicides already for the year, the Bahamas will likely crack the top 3 again. Chairman Mitchell says one approach is examining existing legislation in member countries.
One of the things we discussed is taking a regional approach to a comprehensive review of all existing legislation that treats with firearms, the possession and the trafficking of firearms, to see how we could find a more common platform and to ensure judicial consistency as well in the approach to sentencing in particular.
The conversation this week also included bail. Back in October, St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves openly criticized Bahamian judges for granting bail to murder suspects, asking if they live on Mars. This week, Grenada's Prime Minister shared that regional statistics show most people convicted of serious crimes have existing criminal records.
The approach and trying to ensure that we can develop a common approach as much as possible to minimizing the risk of persons who are on bail or going committing multiple repeat offenses while on bail was something that also we looked at.
In Grenada for Our News, I'm Bethany McDermott.
Thanks, Bethany. Meanwhile, Governor General Dame Cynthia Pratt busy on the ground in Botswana this week, touring the Gaborone Women's Prison, the National Museum and Youth Products Exhibition, nature preserves, and youth centers. The head of state also meeting with President Masisi for discussion on climate change and opportunities for trade and investments. And a man and his wife face charges after police say they seized 8 guns and over 2,000 rounds of ammunition from their McKinney Drive home. Rubens Scott and Shara Rolls Scott were arrested following a search that led to the large seizure that included air rifles, pistols, and various ammunition types. They are charged with possession of ammunition and firearms with intent to supply. Bail was set at $9,500, and they are expected back in court on December 12th to be indicted. And 50 new customs officers now helping safeguard the country's borders following their recent induction in a ceremony at the National Training Agency. Their official joining of the ranks marks a significant expansion in nation's efforts to enhance broader security and trade efficiency. Economic Affairs Minister Senator Michael Halkitis delivered a keynote address emphasizing the vital role these officers play in supporting economic growth.
It means continually seeking to improve your skills and knowledge, embracing innovation, and adapting to new challenges with flexibility and determination. Integrity is about unwavering honesty and strong moral principles. It requires you to act with fairness and impartiality, treating all individuals with respect and dignity. Integrity ensures that the trust placed in you by the Bahamian people is never compromised.
The new officers have completed rigorous training in cargo inspection, smuggling prevention, and customs enforcement. Their induction follows months of classroom and hands-on training. Class valedictorian Jonathan Mackey says the experience, something he and his comrades will never forget.
These key components have not only sharpened our technical skills, but have also instilled in us a profound appreciation for the complexities of international trade. Amidst our academic pursuits, we were privileged to learn from a myriad of guest lecturers, each bringing a unique perspective and wealth of experience to enrich our education.
Well, could we see a 4-day work week in the Bahamas soon? Well, the possibility is being explored, according to Labor and Public Service Minister Pia Glover-Roll. The discussion emerged from the recent 3-day labor legislation reform symposium, where key stakeholders convened to evaluate and propose critical changes to local labor laws. The minister emphasized all recommendations from the symposium will be thoroughly reviewed.
Physical presence doesn't always equate to productivity. So we'll see where that conversation, where that discussion goes amongst the employers, the employees, representatives, and the government agencies. We'll see what they presented, and we're open to all legislation recommendations that were made this week, coming into play if it is agreed upon in our next consultation by these same stakeholders.
And the Labor Minister also revealing government is looking to implement a bi-weekly pay cycle.
We have a system now that is on the verge of a crash, and we want to make sure that we secure our employees' personnel information and matters and processes, as well as their salaries. In terms of the bi-monthly payments that was mentioned in the budget communication, that is a part of our process with the Oracle implementation. It also will come as a part of our salary review that was announced in our budget communication. So we're looking forward to those changes, hopefully in the early 2025.
All right, we've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson, he's in the Weather Center. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Kenyon, and a happy Thursday evening, everybody. That tropical wave that we're tracking is starting to come into agreement with most of the models, taking it more towards the west and south of us. We'll share that in a satellite picture, but it's been a very warm day around the islands. Temperatures were back into the 90s. 86 is our current temperature right now. We have a slight breeze out there, east-northeast winds at 16 miles per hour, shaving a few degrees off the temperature, but it still feels like a very warm 96 on the outside. Right now, it's 86 in Freeport, 86 in Allenstown, Bimini, Nicholstown, Andros here in the capital. Great Harbor Key and Governor's Harbor, 85 there. Marshall, Barbacoa, you have some showers nearby. Your temperature at 84. Central Bahamas, 86 in Kemps Bay, 85 Georgetown, the Exumas, Arthurstown, Cat Island. Copentown, San Salvador, showers nearby, temperature of 84. Deadman's Key also 84, and into the southeast Bahamas. 85 once again in Duncantown, Ragged Island, Delectable Bay, and in Matthewtown, Inagua. A pair of 84s, Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Abrahams Bay, and Turks and Caicos Islands. Good neighbors to the southeast. You are rain cool, 83 degrees at this hour. Satellite radar composite. We are still tracking that wave. But as I said earlier in the top of the newscast, the models are now in some agreement and it's taking the system more towards the west. That ridge of high pressure in the Atlantic is not giving way, so it's going to continue to steer the system towards the west. But showers and thunderstorms associated with the system will continue to affect the area. The southeast Bahamas getting in on the action as we speak. Heavy showers and thunderstorms affecting that area, and it will continue to spread into the central Bahamas by tomorrow. And eventually the system moves into the Gulf of Mexico. National Hurricane Center has bumped up the chances slightly, 70%, but it is expected to develop once it gets into the Gulf of Mexico and exits our area. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. So look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Thanks, Greg. And still to come on Our News, as competition heats up in Paris, we take a trip down memory lane to a defining moment in Bahamian Olympic history when Frank Rutherford secured the Bahamas' first Olympic track and field medal. Our News is back in less than 3 minutes.
No travel, no problem. Summer is here. Whether you're fighting to stay cool or heating up the fun, Our News Weekend is your guide to the ultimate staycation. We're talking all of the hidden gems right in our backyard, from the hottest bars and lounges to the coolest excursions and events in town. So stay cool, stay local, and stay tuned. Tune in every Saturday to make sure your summer staycation is an unforgettable sensation. Only on Our News Weekend.
This video needs to show us on a different scale. It has to be
Extra. What, eh?
Hey, Quay.
Hey, what you saying?
Where you with?
I heard you on the bus stop with my friend.
Okay, so we want to shoot this video, and it's gonna be extra.
All right, Jim. I can just come to you. All right. I need your 25 cents no more.
The Paradise Hotel.
When can I sell?
Is this what the hotel is really worth?
The kids find themselves on more exciting island adventures.
So stay tuned for some really hot new episodes.
This is 242 The Gospel.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather.
This update from the Paris Olympics is powered by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies.
Welcome to Our Sports at 7. This is 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. With competition underway in Paris, we take a look back at a moment that laid the foundation for the Olympic success that we continue to enjoy today. On Wednesday, August 3rd, 1992, Frank Rutherford captured the Bahamas' first Olympic track and field medal, a bronze in the triple jump in Barcelona, Spain. Rutherford jumped 17.36 meters to finish third behind Americans Mike Conley at 18.17 meters and Charles Simpkins at 17.60 meters.
Going into that final, I was just ready to let the world know that the Bahamas is here to stay. And I had no second guessing myself. So, sometimes I go back and reflect.
Since his milestone accomplishment, the Bahamas has medaled in every edition of the Summer Olympic Games. His performance changed the way the Bahamian fan base viewed excellence in the sport, and particularly at the Olympic level. Nowadays, a position on the medal podium is almost expected from a small country of just over 400,000.
That's some history. Here's what's next in sports tonight. Track and field competition gets underway tomorrow for the Bahamas at the Paris Olympics. We've got the mixed 4x400 meter relay, the men's decathlon, and the women's triple jump. Eastward Judo Club has medal-winning performances against international competition at the U.S. Open Judo Championships.
That'll do it for Our Sports at 7. This is 10YS. Stay tuned to Our News at 7:30 for details on these stories and more. Back to the studio.
All right, still to come on Our News, we will turn our attention to stories happening around the world, including a man who is suspected of the 9/11 attacks reaching a plea deal, and we're also following Vibes Cartel being freed. Those stories and much more when Our News returns.
Book your test drive now. What are you waiting for? Save money, drive smarter. There's an EV waiting for you at Easy Car Sales.
This video.
No travel, no problem. Summer is here. Whether you're fighting to stay cool or heating up the fun, Our News Weekend is your guide to the ultimate staycation. We're talking all of the hidden gems right in our backyard, from the hottest bars and lounges to the coolest excursions and events in town. So stay cool, stay local, and stay tuned. Tune in every Saturday to make sure your summer staycation is an unforgettable sensation. Only on Our News Weekend.
This video needs to show us on a different scale. It has to be
Extra. What, eh?
Hey, Quay.
Hey, what you saying?
Where you with?
I heard you on the bus stop with my friend.
Okay, so we want to shoot this video, and it's gonna be extra.
All right, Jim. I can just come to you. All right. I need your 25 cents no more.
The Paradise Hotel.
When can I sell?
Is this what the hotel is really worth?
The kids find themselves on more exciting island adventures.
So stay tuned for some really hot new episodes.
This is 242 the Gospel.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and
This is Our News. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. The man accused of masterminding the September 11th attacks and two of his accomplices held at a U.S. military prison in Cuba have agreed to plead guilty. Gabe Singer reports.
The accused mastermind of the September 11th attacks, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, and two of his accomplices, all held at the U.S. military prison at Guantanamo Bay, have agreed to plead guilty. The Pentagon announced the development on Wednesday without elaborating on the plea deals. However, a U.S. official speaking on condition of anonymity said the deals almost certainly involved guilty pleas in exchange for taking the death penalty off the table. Mohammed is accused of masterminding the plot to fly hijacked commercial passenger aircraft into the World Trade Center in New York City and into the Pentagon on September 11, 2001. The attacks killed nearly 3,000 people and plunged the United States into what would become a two-decade-long war in Afghanistan. Mohammed is the most well-known inmate at the detention facility in Guantanamo Bay in Cuba. The prison was set up in 2002 by then U.S. President George W. Bush to house foreign militant suspects following the September 11th attacks. Its population grew to a peak of about 800 inmates before it started to shrink. Only 30 inmates remain today. Mohammed's interrogations have long been the subject of scrutiny. A 2014 Senate Intelligence Committee report on the CIA's use of waterboarding and other, quote, enhanced interrogation techniques said that Mohammed had been waterboarded at least 183 times.
And 3 U.S. citizens, including Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich, were released today in a major prisoner exchange deal with Russia. Brokered by the Biden administration, the swap also involves 24 prisoners from Russia, the U.S., Germany, and other Western nations. Russian Colonel Vadim Korsikov, involved in the murder of Kremlin opponents, is reported to be on his way to Turkey as part of the deal. The exchange, facilitated by Turkey, marks one of the largest between Russia and the West since the Cold War.
I spent a lot of time with the families of Evan and Paul and Alsu. And most of the time, as you can imagine, those are tough conversations. But not today. Today, excuse me. Today was a very good day. And we're going to build on it, drawing inspiration and continued courage from it for all of those who are held hostage or wrongfully detained around the world. And that includes Mark Fogel, who we are actively working to get his release from Russia as well. And there are others being held in Syria, Afghanistan, other countries around the world who we are working to get released.
And Jamaican dancehall artist Vybz Kartel has been freed after Jamaican judges ruled he will not face a retrial for murder. Kartel's 2014 conviction was overturned by the UK Privy Council in March due to jury issues. The Jamaican Appeal Court decided against a new trial, citing the time elapsed and Kartel's health. Now acquitted, Kartel, whose real name is Adidja Palmer, returns to a huge fan base as a major figure in dancehall music. Well, back at home, starting this Saturday, 16 of Grand Bahama's most beloved restaurants will ignite your taste buds in a culinary celebration unlike any other in the Grand Bahama Island Restaurant Festival. In tonight's edition of Sustainability First, Marlena Leonard dives into how this year's festival theme aims to elevate sea-to-table cuisine.
Bahamas first, putting sustainability first for our people and our environment. What's first for you and the planet comes first for us.
The third annual Grand Bahama Island Restaurant Festival kicks off this weekend, and this year's festival, spanning August 3rd through 17th, will have a sustainable twist.
This year's festival theme is sustainable fishing and farm/seat-to-table cuisine, which underscores our commitment to raising awareness about environmental stewardship. In addition to encouraging participating restaurants to get as creative as possible with their dishes, we also want to promote the sustainable element and sustainable practices, raise awareness about responsible consumption, and support our local fishing initiatives.
The highly anticipated crawfish season reopens today. Adhering to those guidelines is another focus of the festival.
This includes highlighting and respecting local lobster and fishing seasons, conch sizing guidelines, and encouraging local fishermen and restaurants to catch and cook as many lionfish as possible.
And beyond highlighting local and traditional favorites, the festival also hopes to encourage the fishing and consumption of invasive species through demos. Featured chef Harold Pinder explains.
We're working with local fishermen trying to showcase lionfish, which is an invasive species, so we're trying to utilize that as much as we can and showcase many different types of ways that we can utilize it. So with the event coming up, we're going to be using lionfish as a ceviche, which is a raw application, and we'll be using like fresh local ingredients to show you how to prepare this.
Reporting for Our News and reminding you to put sustainability first, I'm Marlena Leonard.
Still to come in Our News, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was August 1st. Then in Our News at 7:30, the opposition takes aim at government once again, claiming lack of urgency and transparency amid an ongoing internal police probe. And we'll tell you about the more than 800 jobs on the horizon as a new beaches Exuma project is announced. When Our News returns.
No travel, no problem. Summer is here. Whether you're fighting to stay cool or heating up the fun, Our News Weekend is your guide to the ultimate staycation. We're talking all of the hidden gems right in our backyard, from the hottest bars and lounges to the coolest excursions and events in town. So stay cool, stay local, and stay tuned. Tune in every Saturday to make sure your summer staycation is an unforgettable sensation. Only on Our News Weekend.
This video needs to show us on a different scale. It has to be
Extra. What, eh?
Hey, Quay.
Hey, what you saying?
Where you with?
I heard you on the bus stop with my friend.
Okay, so we want to shoot this video, and it's gonna be extra.
All right, Jim. I can just come to you. All right. I need your 25 cents no more.
The Paradise Hotel.
When can I sell?
Is this what the hotel is really worth?
The kids find themselves on more exciting island adventures.
So stay tuned for some really hot new episodes.
This is 242 the Gospel.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Alive Business.
On this day in Bahamian history in 1790, Bethel's Meeting House, now known as Bethel Baptist Church, was founded by slaves Prince Williams and Samuel Scriven. It was called a meeting house since at the time, the law forbade black men from holding positions of leadership in a church. The church was built on Meeting Street in Delancey Town in an undeveloped area, and was the first church built outside the town of Nassau. Then in 1834, the Emancipation Act of 1833 came into effect in the British Empire. In the colony of the Bahamas, the act only affected those in bondage under the age of 6. Everyone else who was called a slave was now classified as an apprentice and required to work 40 hours per week without pay as compensation to their former owners. Then in 1891, Asa Hubert Pritchard was born in New Providence to William and Margaret Pritchard. Pritchard was a businessman, politician, and member of the House of Assembly representing Eleuthera. He became Speaker of the House in 1946 and served there until 1962. As a businessman, he opened an English-style tobacco store in 1929 that is now known as the John Bull Group of Companies. He was elected head of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce from 1942 to 1944 and was the first president of the Kiwanis Club of Nassau in 1963. Then in 1973, Milo Boughton Butler was sworn in as Governor General. He succeeded John Warburton Paul, becoming the first Bahamian Governor General, and served from 1973 to 1979 when he passed away. And finally in 2014, a state-recognized funeral was held for Edmund Moxey. Born on Ragged Island in 1933, Moxey was a former member of Parliament who made significant changes as the MP for Coconut Grove and as a senator. He was also a farmer, musician, writer, and activist. To watch that historical recap again and for all of today's top stories, remember you can visit ournews.bs and, of course, Our News Bahamas on Facebook. That's going to do it for us in News at 7. Joining us now is our Marlena Leonard with the latest headlines. Marlena?
Thanks, Ken. Well, the opposition takes aim at the government once again. Plus, more than 800 jobs on the horizon as the new Beaches Exuma project is announced. Here are your latest headlines. Tonight on Our News. First tonight in Our News Live at 7:30, the wait is over. Crawfish season officially opening today with local fishermen saying this season will be the best one yet. Plus, a lack of urgency. Find out why opposition leader Michael Pintard says public confidence in law enforcement, policymakers, and the entire criminal justice system is being shaken. This, as a labor consultant says workers on the Celebration Key site in Grand Bahama are alleging a slew of issues. And later, a local dancer doing her part to give back to the community. The program dubbed Artsy, hoping to bring the art of dance to a new generation. All that and more when Our News Live at 7:30 returns.
Bahamas Power and Light Company Limited looks forward to helping our customers eliminate wasted energy. Energy conservation is the decision and practice of using less energy. Energy efficiency means using less energy to perform the same task, unplugging appliances not in use. That's energy conservation. Replacing an old refrigerator, washing machine with a new model, adding insulation to the attic and walls of a home. That's energy efficiency. People conserve to gain more control over their energy bill and to reduce demand on the Earth's natural resources. Take this journey with us as we build for better. BPL.
You've seen electric cars on the road, but isn't it time you drive one? Easy Car Sales invites you to experience the smooth, powerful ride and immerse yourself in the luxury and latest tech features. Find out why the Bahamas is going electric. Visit easy242.com and book your test drive now. What are you waiting for? Save money, drive smarter. There's an EV waiting for you at Easy Car Sales.
What you doing here?
I dig in the well to connect to the house of building for me and Mavis.
Why you just don't call water and sewage?
Call them for what?
To get your city water. You don't have to worry about your water cutting off when the power cut off. And your water's clean and safe, free from coliform bacteria.
Cauliflower what?
Call us at 302-5500 to make the switch from well water to city water for a more fresh, reliable water supply for you and your family.
I'm Michaela Kerr. I'm an 18-year-old freshman at the University of the Bahamas, and I'm a computer science major. I'm also the NT Corporation's Youth Ambassador for the Environment, and I'm an environmentalist. My journey...
Welcome to Our News, and thanks for joining us. I'm Marlena Leonard. Crawfish season officially opens today, and local fishermen and vendors say they're anticipating a lucrative catch. Ardelvardo Emmanuel has the story.
The reopening of crawfish and lobster season brings a wave of relief and optimism to local fishermen. After a 4-month hiatus designed to preserve marine resources, fishers are eager to return to the water and reap the harvest. Seasoned fisherman and owner of Grace and Mercy Stand, Milton McPhee, is stationed at one of the city's busiest docks.
I anticipate a better season this year because, you know, the European market open every 7 years. It's been open last year. So this year we expect better prices. So I expect that it will open at a higher price and we'll have a better season.
Fisherman Gregory Brown echoed McPhee's statement, noting that the cash from each lobster season sustains the local fishing community until the next.
Anytime you see the lobster season, automatically, you know, all fishermen, this is one of the most busiest time that they can actually do volume in crawfish to try to pay some of their bills. You know, most of them have kids going back to school. They have other expense from last year, so.
Despite concerns about potential inclement weather, that's no issue for these men.
The storm that's kicking up out there now is going to bring the lobster in. So the guys who are out there, they're gonna do quite well, I anticipate.
However, as they celebrate the season's opening, fishermen are calling for more enforcement during the off-season.
They come so here in the night, early in the morning, they dive and run back to Florida.
I guess we have to police our borders better and then impose stiffer penalties to those who are caught. And then when it comes to poaching, we look to the south. But our neighbors to the north also rape us on a daily basis.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Delvardo Emmanuel.
Now, as they mentioned, it might not be the best weather to start the season with. We're still watching that tropical wave we've been following, but weather models are now predicting the system will shift westward. However, forecasters say the Bahamas is not out of the woods just yet. We have more details on that coming up, but first, an appellate court has ordered the release of a man whose conviction and 40-year sentence for the murder of an American tourist was overturned by the Privy Council. Anton Bastian was convicted of the 2013 murder of American Kyle Bruner, who was shot dead after he intervened in the mugging of 2 women. Bastian took part in the mugging, and another man, Craig Johnson, allegedly shot Bruner. In June, the Privy Council quashed Bastian's murder and armed robbery convictions. The country's highest court ordered the local appeals court to sentence Bastian for the lesser charge of robbery and to decide if he would face a retrial for manslaughter. The Court of Appeal ruled that Bastian shouldn't be retried for manslaughter. Instead, they sentenced Bastian to 8 years, 1 month, and 17 days for the robbery, the time he spent in prison. And opposition leader Michael Pintard is tonight claiming a lack of urgency and transparency in an ongoing internal police investigation. In a statement Wednesday, Pintard said public confidence in law enforcement, policymakers, and the entire criminal justice system is being shaken. Pintard, who remains critical of the Davis administration, also pointed to allegations that recent murders may be connected to that ongoing investigation and questioned whether the Minister of National Security and the Prime Minister will acknowledge what he says is trust issues with the public. And workers at Carnival's Celebration Key project site in East Grand, Bahama are turning to union consultants with serious concerns of problems on the site, alleging discrimination, unfair overtime selections, and verbal abuse. John Pinder is a labor consultant for Bahamas Industrial General Service Union employees. He told Our News workers are coming forward with complaints despite being afraid of retribution.
I'm hopeful that there will be a collaboration between the Immigration Department and the Labor Department to go down there and to ensure that these members not being exploited or taken advantage of. In addition to that, there's the concern that there's one company down there, this subcontractor, who has about 60 employees, and out of that 60 employees, only 9 are Bahamians. The agreement is, or the arrangement is, that there should be 80% Bahamians and 20% foreign at max. That's not happening in that case.
So as he said, one of their claims is that one of the subcontractors has hired a majority of foreign workers instead of Bahamians, despite the agreement that the opposite should be the case. Pinder says, especially in the case of Grand Bahama, it's vital that qualified local workers get the opportunities. He added that if they run out of Grand Bahamian talent, they should seek Bahamians from other islands before looking outside of the country.
We do not wish to disrupt services because there's not a large union presence there, and that's simply because the guys are in fear of losing their jobs. But we can use the general public to go in and do some demonstrations if necessary, just to bring some awareness, more so to the government than to the project, in that immigration and labor must do their due diligence to ensure that at the end of the day, there's a fair opportunity for Bahamians to get gainful employment on that project.
Well, hundreds more jobs are coming to Exuma as Sandals Resorts International expands with Beaches Exuma, the first in the country. Officials say it's part of a coordinated growth plan across their portfolio. In a statement Wednesday, Tourism Minister Chester Cooper said 850 people will be employed when the resort opens. Sandals Executive Chairman Adam Stewart described the resort as the gateway to discovering the incomparable beauty of this part of the Bahamas. Sandals says its world-famous Emerald Bay Resort will close on August 15th for a transformation starting this fall. And we're still keeping a close eye on the tropics. The latest development, according to forecasters, a vigorous tropical wave called Invest 97L now has a 70% chance of developing into a tropical depression by the weekend. Weather models have shifted the system more westward. However, forecasters say the Bahamas is not out of the woods just yet, as the parts of the country will feel effects starting tonight until Saturday afternoon. Invest 97L is expected to mostly impact central and southeast Bahamas with heavy showers and thunderstorms, severe at times. And on that note, meteorologist Greg Thompson joins us now in the Weather Center for your first look at weather. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Marlena. Happy Thursday evening, everybody. It's been a warm day around the islands. Temperatures into the 90s. We are settling now into the mid-80s, 86 degrees. Breezy and warm east-northeast winds at 16 miles per hour. Still feels like a very warm 96 degrees on the outside. Satellite radar composite still tracking this vigorous tropical wave moving across Hispaniola, and most of the shower and thunderstorm activity just trailing that. Starting to affect the southeast Bahamas as we speak. Showers and thunderstorms will eventually be spreading into the central Bahamas by tomorrow, and possibly even the northwest Bahamas by late tomorrow and into Saturday. But this wave is going to continue to move into the Gulf of Mexico. The models are now taking it more on a westerly track. And of course, large high pressure in the Atlantic continues to steer this into the Gulf of Mexico. So that spells some good news for us. That's a quick check on conditions around the island. Stick with us. So look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on Our News, we'll tell you how the Bahamas Striping Group of Companies is on a mission to provide 10,000 hot meals to those in need this Thanksgiving. And the 3rd annual Grand Bahama Island Restaurant Festival kicks off this weekend. The details when Our News continues. Stay with us.
No travel, no problem. Summer is here. Whether you're fighting to stay cool or heating up the fun, Our News Weekend is your guide to the ultimate staycation. We're talking all of the hidden gems right in our backyard, from the hottest bars and lounges to the coolest excursions and events in town. So stay cool, stay local, and stay tuned. Tune in every Saturday to make sure your summer staycation is an unforgettable sensation. Only on Our News Weekend.
This video needs to show us on a different scale. It has to be
Extra. What, eh?
Hey, Quay.
Hey, what you saying?
Where you with?
I heard you on the bus stop with my friend.
Okay, so we want to shoot this video, and it's gonna be extra.
All right, Jim. I can just come to you. All right. I need your 25 cents no more.
The Paradise Hotel.
When can I sell? Is this what the hotel is really worth?
The kids find themselves on more exciting island adventures.
So stay tuned for some really hot new episodes.
This is 242 the Gospel.
Are you ready for the stormy season?
The Bahamas Striping Group of companies is on a mission to serve 10,000 hot meals to those in need this Thanksgiving. The massive effort is part of its Let's Make a Difference campaign, which was launched in Grand Bahama this week and will extend to 14 other islands. BSGC Executive Assistant Juliette Josie reports that several companies have already pledged to donate items. Campaign committee member Anika Johnson also shares a poignant experience from the previous initiative, highlighting the significant needs within our community.
Let's unite and demonstrate the true spirit of community by ensuring that no one goes without a hot meal on Thanksgiving Day.
We found a house with 8 kids and 3 adults with barely any food. And that's just one household, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. We didn't even get through the community, and we were out of food just a quarter mile into the community. So the need for Grand Bahama is great. We look at it, we may be in our homes, we may be in our dresses, we may be in our cars, but there are persons out there that do not have it.
Chairperson of the Let's Make a Difference campaign, Melissa Sears, says all of the donated items will stay on the island.
It is to help the citizens of Grand Bahama. So nothing goes to any other island. It is just here to service the Grand Bahama community. And just to be clear, this year we want to go as far east as we can and as far west. We want to touch as many and every community that we can.
And speaking of Grand Bahama, the 3rd annual Grand Bahama Island Restaurant Festival kicks off this Saturday at the Port Lucaya Marketplace. Port Lucaya's entertainment and marketing manager, Sieska Jones, tells us more about the festival's opening event called A Taste of Grand Bahama, happening at Port Lucaya this Saturday.
This coming Saturday from 12 to 7. We are happy to inform you that we have a lot of our tenants and our vendors who will be here, and they are elated and excited to participate in this event this coming Saturday. We welcome everyone from Grand Bahama. We welcome the parents, we welcome the children. It's a family event that we're going to have here in the Market Square from 12 to 7. It's going to be filled with activities and fun for everyone. All of our tenants and our vendors are excited, and they will all be offering specials and discounts and samples. So we welcome the community of Grand Bahama. We welcome our tourists. We welcome our visitors.
And the festival goes beyond the 3rd of August, with 16 Grand Bahamian restaurants participating in the weeks-long culinary celebration. Chairman of the Grand Bahama Island Promotion Board, Ian Roll, tells us what people can expect beyond the opening celebrations this weekend.
The Grand Bahama Island Restaurant Fest is set to run from August 3rd to the 17th, and participating restaurants will offer fixed-priced menus. These menus will include appetizers, entrees, and desserts at set prices, providing a fantastic opportunity for both locals and visitors to savor a wide range of Bahamian cuisine.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by RF.
your local investment bank. Has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
Coming up in sports, track and field begins tomorrow in Paris, and several Bahamians will make their Olympic debut, including members of the 4x4 mixed relay team.
Plus, an accomplished dancer returns home to share her professional training and a wealth of knowledge with the next generation when Our News returns.
No travel, no problem. Summer is here. Whether you're fighting to stay cool or heating up the fun, Our News Weekend is your guide to the ultimate staycation. We're talking all of the hidden gems right in our backyard, from the hottest bars and lounges to the coolest excursions and events in town. So stay cool, stay local, and stay tuned. Tune in every Saturday to make sure your summer staycation is an unforgettable sensation. Only on Our News Weekend.
This video needs to show us on a different scale. It has to be
Extra. What, eh?
Hey, Quay.
Hey, what you saying?
Where you with?
I heard you on the bus stop with my friend.
Okay, so we want to shoot this video, and it's gonna be extra.
All right, Jim. I can just come to you. All right. I need your 25 cents no more.
This update from the Paris Olympics is powered by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Marknut. Let's do show. One of the events on schedule tomorrow for Team Bahamas will be the much anticipated mixed 4x400 meter relay. One of the youngest members of Team Bahamas, Quincy Penn, is set to make her debut as a member of the relay pool. Penn finished second in the women's 400 meters at the B3A Senior Nationals this summer in 53.35 seconds.
I have a lot of confidence in the team. Everybody who on the team is good runners, so I believe we could make it to finals, and I believe we have a chance to medal.
In her freshman season at Alabama State, the Abaco native was a two-time Southwestern Athletic Conference Athlete of the Week.
One of the athletes who knows about the pressure of competing at the Olympic Games, Frank Rutherford. Rutherford won the country's first Olympic medal in athletics with his bronze in the triple jump at the '92 Barcelona Games.
I mean, everybody I competed against at the Olympics, I've always competed against them. But here's the difference. Here is the difference. Once you put the name Olympic inside the sentence, the psychological, emotional, and physical aptitude of the moment, it puts people in a place where they become superhumans. Because the next time they will be able to do this is 4 years later. Not the World Championship, that's every year, every other year.
Casey Lynn Smith's journey to her second appearance at the FEI North American Youth Championships includes training with one of the top equestrian coaches in America. Smith trains with esteemed coach, former U.S. equestrian team member, and Grand Prix rider Kim Prince.
Basically, every country has their own championships, and this is ours. It's really a goal of anybody who wants to ride on the big team for their country. It's a great introduction of the team feeling, the team pressure. The whole experience is such a great segue into the next step of possibly being on a senior team for your country.
Smith is headed to Liberty University in the fall, and her goal is to represent the Bahamas at a major competition.
Eastwood Judo Club brought home some hardware from the latest international competition. Kelisha Saunders and Kemuel Sterling with a standout performance with top 3 finishes in the respective divisions at the U.S. Judo Open Championships in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Saunders won gold in the under 53 kilogram division and Sterling won silver in the 52 kilogram division.
I feel great because I know for sure I definitely work very hard in practice, and during in class time and stuff I work really hard. I know my practice paid off, so I'm happy I got my gold.
This is one of the most hardest sports, so I feel good representing the country.
Eastwood Judo Club fielded 9 judokas among the 2,200 participants in the event.
That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS.
You going crawfishing today?
I usually just have it brought to me.
That's what happens when you get a big TV job.
I guess. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on Our News tonight, a local dancer doing her part to give back to the community as she seeks to teach the next generation the art of dancing and ballet. And Greg is back in the Weather Center with your extended weather forecast in just a moment.
No travel, no problem. Summer is here, whether you're fighting to stay cool or heating up the fun. Our News Weekend is your guide to the ultimate staycation. We're talking all of the hidden gems right in our backyard, from the hottest bars and lounges to the coolest excursions and events in town. So stay cool, stay local, and stay tuned. Tune in every Saturday to make sure your summer staycation is an unforgettable sensation. Only on Our News Weekend.
This video needs to show us on a different scale. It has to be
Extra. What, eh?
Hey, Quay.
Hey, what you saying?
Where you is?
I read you on the bus stop with my friend.
Okay, so we want to shoot this video, and it's gonna be extra.
All right, Jim. I can just come to you. All right. I need you 25 cents no more.
The Paradise Hotel.
When can I sell? Is this what the hotel is really worth?
The kids find themselves on more exciting island adventures.
So stay tuned for some really hot new episodes.
This is 242 the Gospel.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't.
This is Our News. Welcome back. We are still tracking a vigorous tropical wave now moving across Hispaniola. A lot of showers and thunderstorms associated with the system now spreading into the southeast Bahamas, as well as the Turks and Caicos Islands. You guys will continue to see that activity throughout the rest of the night and into early portions of tomorrow. And it's expected that most of the shower activity will continue to spread westwards and be into the central Bahamas by tomorrow. So you guys from Exumas down towards Acklands and Crooked Island, you're going to see some cloudy skies as well as some showers and thunderstorms. Also, the tight pressure gradient with the system moving through our area, looking for some very breezy conditions. So if you plan on being on the waters, you want to exercise some extreme caution. A look at the system showing the showers and thunderstorms associated with it popping up just to the north of Hispaniola and the Dominican Republic and Haiti, and now spreading into the southeast Bahamas. Not seeing much in terms of anything with the radar because we're using the Puerto Rican radar, but showers and thunderstorms are affecting that area as we speak. Taking a look at the tropical downpours we expect with this system. Of course, this system will be dumping some rainfall, so if you are living in the southeast and central Bahamas, you could expect some localized flooding once the system continues to push through your area. So if you want to be safe, just make sure you take the precautions to protect life and property, as we expect some heavy downpours as well as some strong to severe thunderstorms with this system as it continues to push through the area. Boating forecast, all areas tonight to tomorrow. Small craft use caution, and it's likely that the Atlantic sides could see an advisory. East to southeast winds 15 to 20 knots. They will be gusting high at times. Seas running 4 to 7 feet over open waters. Tide is presently high, will be low at 1:12 in the morning. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, we will keep the showers in the forecast Friday and Saturday. Things should start tapering off on Sunday. The system is expected to move into the Gulf of Mexico, and it's expected that it is likely to continue to develop a slow development, possibly even to a tropical depression, but it should be out of our area. But some of that moisture will hang around by the early part of next week to the middle part of next week, so we can see some more showers in the forecast. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
A local dancer doing her part to give back to the community. Her program, dubbed Artsy, seeks to teach your little ones the art of dancing and ballet. Our Joshua Williams tells us what you can look forward to and how the camp seeks to motivate beyond the dance floor.
Bahamian dancer and co-founder of Artsy, Courtney Celeste Spears, continuing a mission to give back to the community. Her program, now in its 7th year, seeks to teach your little ones the art of dancing and ballet. And this year's weekend-long workshop is dedicated to helping cultivate their natural talent and skills.
And that's all we ever wanted, was to see the dance community thrive here. And it's thriving in such amazing ways. You have studios, you have the Bahamas Dance Association, you have the Shirley Hall Bass Foundation, and all of their work, and so we're just happy to be able to be a part of the mix and do what we do best.
Courtney, an accomplished dancer, is professionally trained with a wealth of knowledge. Her program, she says, will not only offer professional training, but international exposure as well.
Incredible programming, high-level education, high-level dance college prep, an international amazing group of students. We have incredible faculty coming in. One of my very first jazz teachers and an artsy favorite, Holly Wright, a Radio City Rockette who's a dear friend of mine, Maddie Rodrigue.
And it's not just limited to the little ones. She says there's something for everyone, whether you're a seasoned dancer or a novice.
We have our Mommy and Me classes, which are for ages 3 to 6, which is our adult class, which is a class for adults. It's for let's say banker who knows they love to move and is craving a dance class, or someone in another job. It's for young women and for young men, so it's for both.
And for Spears and her team, it's more than just teaching youngsters a new skill. It's about impact and mentorship as well.
Anybody who loves dance sees it as a way to communicate, to be their most true self, and to develop a sense of who they are. And I think that's so important for everybody, especially our youth, as they're growing and becoming incredible contributors to society, that they find and tap into what they love to do.
Sessions will be held August 31st through September 1st. Registration opens on August 2nd. Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
Well, thank you for joining us for Our News tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Marlena Leonard. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.